What on earth is going on at Tattle at the moment? Now, most of you, I know for a fact, are very familiar with Tattle Live, right? Some of you are on there, some of you watch there, some of you read there, some of you comment on there, but most of you know what it is. And if you don't, it's a forum where people talk about influencers and YouTubers and other influencers and berate them, stalk them, or whatever it is that you want to say about them. That's what they do, and people have long tried to take them down because of their bullying antics and things like that. You've had petitions after petitions after petitions, people signing petitions and all sorts to try and get this site taken down. And have they managed to succeed? That is the question. What, John? We're going to find out together. So Tattle have been all over the news for many years with their alleged bullying antics anyway, such as this article. People are nasty as hell on there. The battle to close Tattle, the most hate-filled corner of the web. The gossip forum Tattle Live is a troll's paradise. Created to scrutinise the lives of influencers, it has made a lot of enemies. Will one of them bring it down? That article was from The Guardian. This one is from the Manchester Evening News. Let's see her perfect life fall apart inside the dark online forum where women tear each other apart for likes. And that wasn't the only article that the Manchester Evening News did. This very famous one appeared in 2023. We're used to getting abuse for sharing our family's life on social media, but now the trolls are turning on our kids. Now, if you don't remember, this appeared like 2023, nearly 2 years ago now, in fact, and everybody blamed Chris Ingham and Sarah Ingham for going to the news about how their kids are treated on Tattle. In fact, if you know your stuff, you'll understand it wasn't Chris and Sarah. They were just approached for comment on the situation, which they gave. The original report came from my good self. So, just to clear that one up, yes, it was in fact me. Some of you may already know that, but others may not, because I was fed up at the time of the kids getting absolutely slated, right, in the most horrendous fashion. This was just one of the many comments that were posted around this time. I'm not making fun of boys with long hair. I'm making fun of Jace with long hair, and there was many memes made up of Jace, mocking him as a future murderer and calling him things like Jeffrey Dahmer and things like that, and it was just horrendous, right? And it's still going on. People hating on Jace on the threads as we speak, right? They are literally hating on him and some of the other kids as well. But so that's what's happening there. Then, I mean, Tattle itself has been known to do they cover all sorts of influencers and things like that on their website, and for a large part it's it's all fun and games. It's quite entertaining. It can be. It's just when it crosses over into bordering on bullying and stalking and things like that, and some people may level the same criticism at me, but I try not to do that. But this website, Tattle itself, has in fact an actual thread on my good self, right? Who's Dougal? Never heard of him. This is the thread of doom. Fortunately, not many people know about it, so they don't post on it. And I mean, what is there to complain about? I tackle family vloggers and try and bring them down, quite often more successfully than Tattle do, and that is why they don't like me, I feel, anyway. But my favourite part is where they they try to dox me or try to out me but still get my name wrong. That is Tattle for you, isn't it? I love it. I absolutely love it. Not quite as smart as they think they are sometimes anyway, But the reason why Tattle don't like me, I don't know. They see me as somebody who wants their information, and they've leveled that at me as well. The fact that, oh, Dougal, he only comes here, trolls our site, and gets our thoughts and opinions and puts them on the video. It's not like we're both looking at the same content and commenting on the same thing. It's like they have exclusivity over thoughts about an England vlog, for example, which is ridiculous, as you know. Anyway, yes, so what's happening with Tattle at the moment? Oh my god, if you've been on Tattle in the last few days, you'll know that something horrendous has been going down. It's been back and forwards and up and down, and it's all been kicking off there. My god. So on the 21st of January, if you went onto Tattle, you were redirected to this new website, which looked remarkably like Tattle, but it was called 8.cafe. That's the number 8.cafe. And everybody was like, what on earth is going on here? Why have you named it Hate Cafe, basically? You know, they already get a lot of accusations of them being hated on, and now it's been... the name change sounds very much like a hate cafe, right? So Helen, the administrator who owns the site, said, "Hi all. It was always a big regret that registration was closed, because if you know anything, if you tried to register on Tattle for a long time, you couldn't do it." She goes on to say, but we really didn't have much choice, as we've never allowed any content that gets into the grey areas of harassment and abuse, except you do, because I pointed it out. A bit more strict these days since I pointed it out, obviously, but you still do allow that. Several threads caused so many issues that it was closed for everyone, which wasn't fair. As we're reorganising things and will shortly be allowing new members to post on the non-problematic threads, the name has been changed to be more generic, as much of Tattle wasn't about gossip. Hope you managed to find a login, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, basically, she's saying here that they've changed the name to a more generic name, 8.cafe it was. And everybody was like, why? Why? Now, she commented, and there was a screenshot, and I haven't got it right now, but I've seen it. Well, I didn't see the screenshot, I saw the actual post. And she said something along the lines of, the reason they chose 8.cafe is because 8 is her favourite number, apparently, and cafe is something to do with a local cafe near her, possibly, something like that. Anyway, it was weird. Anyway, but people were like, not convinced. Anyway, they put up a poll to ask, what do you think about names? And this was the outcome here. 8.cafe was 2.6% said that. Tattle Life got 87.3% of the vote, and something else was 10.1% of the vote. So it sounded very much like Tattle was the what was it. But somebody made a very good suggestion, actually, and they were thinking about doing it, weren't you, Helen? Somebody said, why not Chattle? I thought, that sounds brilliant, Chattle. Fucking that's a fantastic name. In fact, I think that's better than Tattle, if I'm being honest with you. Chattle.life would be fantastic. So I thought, why not? Why not? I think that would be a great idea, Chattle.life. So I went ahead and purchased it. Chattle.life and chattle.co.uk. I now own that particular segment of the internet. If you click on it, if you go to the website, it is actually working now. Straight to my own website. Unfortunately, it's not a Tattle-based type website that was set up because I couldn't be bothered with it. I did think about maybe setting up a rival to Tattle, but I couldn't be arsed, to be honest with you. It's too much like hard work. So yeah, those That's what I thought. Anyway, Tattle. It's a good thing. I think it's great. Anyway, but either way, irrespective of what's going on there, it seems like that they decided then to go back to Tattle. So they put up this message then. Message understood. We're going back to tattle.life. Oh yes. So they changed it back again. So they were at 8.cafe for like half a day, and then they went back to tattle.life. And they not only did that, but they had both sites, both websites running simultaneously, and you could post on both of them, and nobody knew what they were doing. They didn't know whether they were coming or going, but apparently, anyway, they went back to tattle.life and everything was back to normal. Then I woke up this morning to this message on screen. Farewell. We believe it's important for the public to have an opinion on social media influencers, as they occupy a unique and largely unregulated space between celebrities and everyday individuals, wielding significant power. In January 2023, we closed registrations after too many users violated our rules and thought they could ignore them and create a new account. So, yep. Then they went on to say, as we said back in 2019, our hope has always been that this site would become unnecessary as governments introduced proper regulations. Unfortunately, recent threats directed at members of one of our families has left us with no choice but to shut down the site. It's simply unfair for them to be impacted by something they have zero involvement in. Very well said. And goodbye, I guess, isn't it? Farewell, goodbye, etc. And it was great. Everybody was like, oh my god, what's going on? This is horrendous. Let's pack up and move out and everything else. And everybody packed up and jumped ship to this other website, which was obviously hastily put up, called Comment Cafe. Like, everybody just jumped and off they went, and left Tattle reeling in despair. But that website obviously wasn't set up for the amount of traffic that was pushed their way, because it's fucked. It doesn't work, right? So what's next? So we're thinking, oh yeah, okay, so Tattle is shutting down finally. It's bye bye. Bon voyage. Ciao. Everything, right? So and then I come back on a couple of hours later and I'm met with this. So a lot of people genuinely thought the site had been hacked, right? So they had to clarify this. Helen says, I need to clarify a few things. The name change wasn't connected to disabling the site. It was something that acted as a catalyst for other things, but after members' views, it felt best to revert the 8 thing. We registered that in July 2024 and had long been planning a rebrand, which we didn't think through, clearly. There have always been a great many situations behind the scenes that members were unaware of that has always been dealt with by the team to ensure the safe and efficient running of the site. The site was not and has never been hacked. All members' details remain secure, but for any site, it's best practice to use a non-identifying email so there is no data to ever leak. However, when direct threats are made to unconnected members of our families, it was felt that we were left with no choice but to disable the site. We all understand how much this has upset a great many of you, and for this we are very sorry. The decision was not taken lightly. After further discussion, yes, late into the night for some and all afternoon for others, we have decided to deal with the threats with legal action. So are they disabling it? Are they ending it? Are they closing it down or not? Watch this space. It's not over yet. It's not. She goes on to say, as you will appreciate, we won't be discussing this situation as it concerns family members with no connection to Tattle. All matters are with our legal team. Once again, we apologise for the stress of the last couple of days. Stress because Tattle's done. Okay, sorry. And hope to see you all back on your favourite threads. Please post on topic on the threads and ignore this whole situation while it's being dealt with, as to not jeopardise it. It's a little bit hypocritical, some might say, because you don't mind other influencers being talked about when they have legal things going on. Anyway, promoting groups elsewhere will get a ban, or posting to announce you're leaving, as it helps no one. Moderation is an impossible job that sends you crazy at times. If we ever do close the site for good, it will be left live to let people say their goodbyes. Well, I thought it was you were leaving for good before. Was that just a joke? Why play with our emotions like that? Is it just a joke? The posts from the last 5 hours have been deleted as people were doxing themselves. Yeah, people were actually leaving their email addresses and stuff like that, so that other people could contact them. It was crazy. And most of it was about the situation, which we cannot discuss. If anyone asks about what's happened, please only link to this thread and do not discuss it. Big apologies for any concern this has caused. So yes, the overriding feeling there is you're not allowed to discuss this situation, which is ironic because you promote discussing everybody else's situations on your platform. Just saying, you know. So it seems like the past couple of days has been an absolute shit show as far as Tattle's concerned. They've got threats going on behind the scenes, which you can't right, it's not right. Okay, so it's not fair on the extended family members of people who run Tattle, right? You agree with that. But is it fair that influencers non-connected to influencing should be talked about on Tattle? Right? Give you an example. Chris Ingham, right? His brother Dave is mentioned frequently. Right, he's nothing to do with Chris. He's nothing to do with the family vlogging channel which you're discussing. But you're talking about him as if it's okay to talk about him. I'm not policing that whatsoever. But then you say it's not okay to talk about somebody else's family members. I guess it goes a little bit further if it's actual threats against them, but you know what I mean. But they're saying don't discuss it because it's with the legal team, and yet if it was an influencer that were going through a legal battle, you would encourage it to be talked about. Anyway, I think the overriding feeling here is one of absolute shit show, and Tattle is back where it belongs, on the internet for everybody to discuss. Fantastic. You had us going for a second there. It was an absolute joke if you followed it from top to bottom. Yeah, please let me know what you think in the comments down below, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Are you a Tattle member? Are you a Tattle viewer? Are you a Tattle watcher? Are you a Tattle hater? Anything that you know about Tattle, let me know in the comments down below. It'll be great to have a discussion. And yes, Helen, I'm taking the discussion further. Sod your legal team. Sorry. But yeah, anything's fair game, I guess.